Dear friends, have you ever wondered if the events of your life, every joy, every sorrow, and even the seemingly insignificant moments, are part of a grander design, a carefully crafted blueprint laid out by a divine hand? What if I told you that your life, with all its twists and turns, is not a random series of occurrences, but a journey towards a destiny that has been in motion long before you were born? Imagine for a moment that the purpose you've been searching for, the meaning you seek in this world, is not something you need to create from scratch but something that has already been written, waiting for you to discover it. Yes, there is a divine plan, a blueprint of life that God Himself has set in motion for each one of us. And today, my dear friends, I invite you to pause, breathe deeply, and reflect on the beautiful possibility that you are part of something far greater than you can imagine. In this moment, as you listen, I want you to open your heart to the truth that every experience you've had, every moment of triumph, every painful struggle, every challenge you've faced, has not been a mere accident or a stroke of bad luck. No, these are all pieces of a divine puzzle, strategically placed to guide you towards your ultimate purpose. There are no accidents in life, only moments of divine purpose that we have yet to fully understand. Your life, in all its complexity, is part of a living, breathing plan that God designed for you with infinite wisdom and love. Whether you are aware of it or not, the path that you walk, the choices you make, and the people you encounter are all leading you to a destiny written by the Creator, a destiny far greater than you could ever dream for yourself. Perhaps you've questioned your purpose, wondering if you're on the right path. Perhaps life's challenges have left you feeling lost, uncertain, or disconnected. If so, I want you to know that you are not alone. The divine blueprint for your life exists beyond time and space, a living testament to God's eternal love for you. It is uniquely tailored to your soul, aligning with your deepest strengths, weaknesses, dreams, and yes, even your fears and challenges. This blueprint is not a rigid set of rules but a dynamic and fluid design that guides you towards the fulfillment of your highest potential. Even when the way ahead seems unclear, this divine path remains. It is always there, like a compass for the soul, gently guiding you toward your true calling. The blueprint is not about knowing every detail of your future, but about trusting that there is a path laid out just for you, one that leads to your divine destiny. Friends, have you ever had a feeling, a pull in your heart, telling you that something greater awaits you? Perhaps you've had moments of inexplicable clarity, a sense of knowing that you were meant to follow a certain path or make a particular decision. Those are the whispers of your soul, the divine guidance that speaks to you when you listen closely. God's blueprint for your life is not something you can fully comprehend with your mind alone, it is revealed through the deep wisdom of your soul. It requires a quieting of the noise of the world and a deep listening to your inner knowing. Through practices like prayer, meditation, and moments of stillness, you begin to connect with this divine wisdom, and it becomes clearer to you where you are being called. So, my dear friends, as we embark on this journey of discovery together, I urge you to consider this question: what if the purpose of your life is not something you need to create, but something already laid out for you by God Himself? What if your struggles, your triumphs, and even your doubts are guiding you to fulfill a destiny greater than you can imagine? I invite you to reflect deeply on this and keep watching, for by the end of this message, your life will not be the same as it was before. Your heart will open to a deeper truth, one that will bring clarity and peace, as you begin to see yourself as part of a divine plan, crafted with love and purpose. As we dive deeper into the understanding of God's blueprint for our lives, let us reflect on the profound and intricate design that guides each of us, a divine map woven with purpose, love, and wisdom far beyond our comprehension. Imagine for a moment, if you will, that your life is not a random set of events happening by chance, but rather a sacred plan that has been unfolding long before you took your first breath. Every experience you've had, every person you've met, every joy and sorrow, no matter how large or small, are not scattered moments of happenstance, but rather purposeful steps on a path that was carefully crafted by the Creator Himself. God's blueprint is not a list of instructions or a checklist to follow. It is a living, dynamic design, an ongoing story that continues to unfold with every choice you make, every breath you take. It is an artful masterpiece, written with divine wisdom, filled with moments of beauty, challenge, growth, and transformation. Consider this: God's blueprint is uniquely tailored to you. It is not a one-size-fits-all plan, but a design that speaks to the very essence of who you are. Every part of it, from your deepest strengths to your most significant weaknesses, from your grandest dreams to your most painful fears, is part of this sacred plan. This divine design takes into account everything that makes you who you are, the very things that shape your character, your purpose, and your mission in life. It is not merely a path to follow, but a journey of becoming, of discovering who you truly are meant to be. Think of it like a river that flows toward the ocean. The river itself represents your journey, while the ocean is the ultimate fulfillment of your divine destiny. Along the way, you may encounter rocks, twists, and turns, but the river is always moving forward, always guided by the unseen force of the current, just as your life is guided by God's eternal wisdom, pushing you toward your ultimate purpose. One of the most profound aspects of God's blueprint for your life is that it transcends time. It exists beyond the boundaries of what we understand as the past, present, and future. This divine plan for your life was set in motion long before you took your first breath and will continue to unfold, no matter where you are on your journey. It is a plan that is not bound by the limits of time but rather flows in a constant, ever-present state of being. The remarkable truth is that your destiny was written long before you were even born. The path you are walking is not something that happened by accident. It was a plan already in motion, a purpose already set in place. While we experience life in the present moment, we must also recognize that there is a deeper, eternal dimension to our lives. God's blueprint is timeless, and it exists as an unbroken thread that weaves through the tapestry of your existence. But what does this mean for you, right now, in the midst of your own life? It means that the experiences you've had, those seemingly random moments, the people who have come into your life at just the right time, the struggles and triumphs you've faced, are not coincidences. These are purposeful, divinely placed markers along your path, each one guiding you toward the greater picture of your destiny. God's blueprint is unfolding constantly, moment by moment, and you are a vital part of that unfolding story. It's not about knowing every detail of your future, but about trusting that there is a divine plan in place, a plan that is continuously guiding you toward your highest purpose, even when it feels uncertain or unclear. Sometimes, we may find ourselves struggling to understand why certain things happen or why certain doors remain closed. But in these moments of confusion or doubt, we must remember that God's plan is always moving forward, even when we cannot see the full picture. Just as an artist might step back to see the beauty of their work, God, in His infinite wisdom, sees the grand design of your life, a design that is perfectly and uniquely yours. There are moments in life when we feel lost, when the way forward seems unclear. It's in those moments that God's blueprint becomes a steady, guiding light. When we are lost in the darkness of confusion or doubt, the blueprint remains, a beacon in the distance, calling us toward our true path. It's not always about knowing every detail of our future, but about recognizing that we are part of something much bigger than ourselves, something that has been in motion long before we were born and will continue long after we've walked our final steps. Trusting in God's divine plan requires an understanding that even in the moments when we cannot see the way ahead, there is still a path laid out for us. This blueprint is not static, it is alive, flowing, and adjusting as we make decisions, take steps, and grow into the person we were always meant to be. Like a compass pointing north, God's blueprint always guides us toward our true calling, even when the path is winding or difficult to understand. And then, there's the incredible truth that this blueprint is not a set of rigid, inflexible rules. It is a living plan, designed to evolve and grow with you. It is not something that is completed at birth and left to be followed blindly. No, God's blueprint is a dynamic and personal design that adapts to the choices you make, the lessons you learn, and the person you become. The beauty of this design is that it is tailored to fit you uniquely, and it unfolds according to your soul's deepest needs and desires. Just as an artist might change the strokes of a painting as it comes to life on the canvas, God's blueprint is flexible and responsive to the choices you make, always bringing you closer to your divine destiny. In order to truly understand this divine blueprint, it requires an inner wisdom that goes beyond intellectual knowledge. God's plan for your life is not something that can be figured out through logic alone. It requires the wisdom of your soul. It requires stillness, prayer, and reflection. When we quiet the noise of the outside world, we begin to hear the whispers of God's guidance, nudging us gently along the path He has set for us. Your blueprint is not something you can grasp fully with your mind. It must be understood with the heart, through inner knowing. The wisdom of your soul speaks directly to you, guiding you toward decisions that align with your divine plan. This wisdom often comes in subtle forms: an intuitive feeling, a sense of peace in a decision, a sudden insight that feels like a divine nudge. The more you tune into this inner knowing, the clearer the path becomes, and you begin to understand how every step, every choice, is part of the greater plan. And yet, there is more to this blueprint than simply following a path. God's design for your life includes the beautiful gift of free will. You are not a puppet, passively following a preordained plan. You are an active participant in the unfolding of your own destiny. Every choice you make, every decision, every action, every step, has the power to either align you more closely with your divine path or to lead you into a lesson that will ultimately bring you back into alignment. This is the gift of free will, and it is through this divine partnership that your destiny is shaped. You are not merely following a path, you are co-creating it with God, shaping your life through the choices you make in response to His guidance. This partnership between divine will and free will is the essence of God's blueprint, an ongoing, dynamic relationship that allows you to be both a participant and a recipient of divine love and guidance. As we consider these truths, we begin to see that God's blueprint is not just a set of directions to follow, but an invitation to participate in something sacred and transformative. It is a divine plan that calls us to recognize our purpose, to embrace our unique journey, and to trust that every moment, every decision, is leading us toward the fulfillment of our divine destiny. Through free will, through inner wisdom, and through trusting the divine timing of our lives, we begin to uncover the true beauty and meaning of God's blueprint, a design that is perfect, alive, and constantly unfolding. As we delve further into the unfolding of God's divine blueprint for our lives, we encounter the beautiful and profound role that inner knowing plays in navigating this path. It is one thing to be aware that a divine design exists, but it is quite another to truly connect with it and allow it to guide us. Within each of us lies a deep, intuitive wisdom, a sacred knowing that whispers in the quiet moments of our hearts, pointing us in the direction of our true purpose. This inner knowing is not something that can be easily understood with the mind alone. It is not something we can read in a book or be taught in a lecture. No, it is the divine voice that speaks directly to the soul, and it is through this connection that we come to understand God's blueprint for our lives. But how do we access this wisdom, especially in a world filled with distractions and noise? To hear the voice of God's guidance, we must first learn to quiet the noise of the external world. We must cultivate moments of stillness, where we can hear the whispers of our inner wisdom, guiding us gently along the path that has already been laid out for us. These moments of stillness are not always easy to come by in our fast-paced, constantly connected world. Yet, it is in these quiet spaces, through prayer, meditation, or simply taking a pause from the busyness of life, that we begin to hear the voice of God calling us forward. It is in these moments that we connect with the divine plan, that we become aware of the gentle nudges that direct us toward the next step on our journey. But inner knowing is not just a passive experience, it is an active practice, one that requires us to listen, to trust, and to take action. As we grow in our ability to connect with this divine wisdom, we learn to discern the difference between our own thoughts and the voice of God's guidance. This is where the true beauty of God's blueprint reveals itself. It requires not only faith and trust, but also the courage to step forward when we are uncertain, to act in faith even when the path ahead is unclear. Each of us has moments in our lives when we feel an inexplicable pull in a certain direction, a sense that we are meant to follow a specific path or make a particular decision. These moments of intuitive clarity are not coincidences, but are part of the divine design, guiding us toward our ultimate purpose. As we step into this divine flow, we must also recognize the role of free will in aligning with God's blueprint. While the blueprint is a guide, it is not a forceful mandate. The beauty of God's design is that it invites us to actively participate in the unfolding of our lives, to use our free will to choose the path that aligns with our true calling. God's plan is not rigid, it is not a set of instructions that we must blindly follow. Instead, it is an invitation to work in partnership with the Creator, to make decisions that resonate with our deepest selves, decisions that reflect the divine wisdom within us. Free will, however, does not mean that we can stray too far from the divine path. Even in the moments when we make choices that lead us away from our true calling, there is a beautiful truth that we must hold on to. God's blueprint is always there, guiding us back to our path. The divine design is not something that can be derailed by a single wrong decision. It is a living, ever-evolving plan that adapts to the choices we make, always bringing us back to the center of our purpose. Life is not about making perfect choices, but about recognizing the opportunities to realign with our divine path. Even when we falter, God's wisdom is always present, waiting for us to return to the flow of His plan. This divine partnership between free will and God's blueprint is one of the most powerful aspects of our spiritual journey. We are not passive participants in our own lives, we are co-creators with God, working together to fulfill the destiny He has planned for us. Our choices matter, they shape the course of our lives, and they determine how closely we align with the divine path. It is through our free will that we are able to step into the fullness of who we are meant to be. It is through the choices we make, the actions we take, and the decisions we embrace that we bring God's blueprint to life. And yet, even as we exercise our free will, we must remain aware of the signs and synchronicities that the divine plan sends our way. These signs are the fingerprints of God on our lives, subtle yet profound indications that we are on the right path. Often, these signs come in the form of seemingly random encounters, unexpected guidance at just the right moment, or an uncanny sense of clarity when we need it most. These moments of divine intervention are not accidents. They are part of the divine design, carefully orchestrated to guide us toward our true calling. To recognize these signs, we must cultivate an openness to the divine presence in our lives. We must remain alert, willing to receive the guidance that God offers through these synchronicities. They are not always obvious, they may come in the form of a passing comment from a stranger, a song that speaks to our situation, or an unexpected opportunity that feels divinely timed. But when we are open and attentive, these signs become clear, and we begin to understand that they are not mere coincidences, but divine nudges that lead us closer to the fulfillment of our divine purpose. And as we navigate this path, we must embrace the mystery of God's blueprint. There will be times when we don't fully understand why certain things are happening, why certain doors are closed, or why we are being called to take a certain path. It is in these moments of uncertainty that we must embrace the mystery of life, knowing that God's plan is far greater than anything we could imagine. The divine blueprint is not something we need to control or fully comprehend, it is something we are meant to live by, with trust, faith, and surrender. The mystery of God's plan is not something to fear, but something to embrace with an open heart. Just as a seed does not fully understand the process of growing into a tree, we too do not always understand the fullness of the divine plan. And yet, as the seed grows into the tree, we too are growing into the fullness of our divine destiny. The process of growth is not always easy, it requires patience, trust, and a willingness to step into the unknown. But it is in this process that we are shaped, transformed, and made into the people we are meant to become. This embracing of the mystery is not a passive acceptance, but an active engagement with life. It is a trust that God's plan is unfolding perfectly, even when we cannot see the full picture. It is the faith that everything is happening for a reason, and that every moment, every experience, is part of the greater design that is leading us toward our divine destiny. Even in times of doubt, confusion, and uncertainty, we must hold on to this truth: God's blueprint for our lives is perfect, and we are always exactly where we need to be. As we walk this path of discovery, we must remember that God's blueprint is not a destination to be reached, but a journey to be lived. The process of aligning with the divine plan is ongoing. It is a lifelong practice of tuning into our inner wisdom, making choices that align with our highest purpose, and trusting that every step is leading us closer to the fullness of who we are meant to be. It is a journey of transformation, where every challenge, every decision, and every moment of growth is part of the greater divine design. By embracing this journey, we embrace the fullness of God's plan for our lives, and we step into the beauty of our divine destiny. As we continue to journey along the path laid out for us by God's divine blueprint, we come to a crucial turning point, the act of aligning our lives with that sacred design. The blueprint is not simply a plan to observe from afar, it is a dynamic, living guide that calls for our participation. It invites us into alignment, not through passive acceptance, but through intentional and conscious choices. To align with God's blueprint is to actively bring our lives into harmony with the divine will, to recognize the signs and whispers that guide us, and to make decisions that reflect the true purpose we are meant to fulfill. The act of alignment is not a one-time event but a continuous process, a daily commitment to live in accordance with the divine plan that has been set before us. It requires deep self-awareness and spiritual practice, but in doing so, it opens us to a life filled with grace, purpose, and peace. Alignment begins with self-awareness, for it is through knowing ourselves deeply that we can recognize when we are in sync with God's plan and when we have veered off course. We must take the time to reflect on our thoughts, emotions, desires, and fears, understanding how they shape our actions and decisions. Self-awareness is the key that unlocks the door to alignment, allowing us to see clearly when we are living in harmony with our soul's true calling. It requires us to look inward, to question our motivations, and to be honest with ourselves about the choices we are making. The more we understand who we are at our core, the easier it becomes to make decisions that reflect our true purpose and to recognize when we are straying from the path laid out for us by God. As we cultivate self-awareness, we begin to see how our daily habits and routines impact our alignment with the divine plan. Our actions, whether small or large, have a profound effect on how closely we follow the blueprint for our lives. We must ask ourselves, are the choices I am making bringing me closer to my purpose, or are they pulling me away from it? This is not an exercise in perfectionism but an invitation to continually check in with ourselves and ensure that our actions are in alignment with the life we are meant to live. Whether it's the way we spend our time, the people we surround ourselves with, or the thoughts we entertain, every decision plays a role in our alignment with God's plan. The more we consciously choose to live in harmony with the divine will, the more we open ourselves to the flow of grace that accompanies our purpose. Daily spiritual practices are essential to this process of alignment. They create sacred spaces in our lives where we can connect with our inner wisdom and receive guidance from God. These practices, whether through prayer, meditation, journaling, or simply moments of stillness, help us to quiet the noise of the world and attune ourselves to the divine whispers that guide us. It is in these moments of connection that we receive the clarity and insight needed to navigate life's challenges and to stay aligned with our true purpose. The beauty of these spiritual practices lies not in their complexity but in their ability to ground us, to center us, and to remind us that we are never alone on this journey. Through them, we make space for God's presence, allowing His guidance to flow freely into our lives. But alignment is not only about personal practices, it also involves recognizing the role of free will in the unfolding of God's blueprint. We are not passive recipients of divine guidance, we are active participants in the manifestation of our destiny. God has given us the gift of free will, and it is through the choices we make that we either align with or deviate from the divine path. Our free will is a powerful tool. It allows us to co-create our lives with God, making decisions that either bring us closer to our divine purpose or lead us through lessons that ultimately guide us back to it. There is a delicate balance between surrendering to God's plan and exercising our free will, but when we align our choices with divine wisdom, we begin to see how seamlessly these two forces work together. The gift of free will also means that there will be times when we make choices that do not align with the divine blueprint. It is important to understand that this does not mean we have failed or that we have lost our way. Life is not about perfection but about growth. God's blueprint is not rigid, it is a dynamic, living plan that adapts to the choices we make. Even when we make decisions that seem to lead us off track, there is always room for realignment. God's plan is patient, and His love is unconditional. Even when we stray, His grace is there to guide us back to the path that is meant for us. This understanding frees us from the fear of making mistakes, allowing us to move forward with courage and trust in the divine process. Recognizing signs and synchronicities is another key element in aligning with God's blueprint. Throughout our lives, God communicates with us in subtle ways, through signs, symbols, and synchronicities that guide us toward the right path. These moments may appear as seemingly random events, but they are not coincidences. They are divine messages, guiding us in the direction we are meant to go. Whether it's a chance encounter, an unexpected opportunity, or a recurring theme in our lives, these signs are the fingerprints of the divine, showing us that we are on the right path. To recognize these signs, we must be open and receptive to them, remaining alert to the ways in which God is communicating with us. It is through these moments of divine intervention that we find confirmation of our alignment with God's plan, and they provide the encouragement we need to continue moving forward. However, it is not always easy to recognize these signs, especially when we are faced with doubt, fear, or confusion. In these moments, we are called to embrace the mystery of God's blueprint. There will be times when we don't understand why certain things are happening, or why the path ahead seems unclear. But it is in these times of uncertainty that we must trust in the divine timing of our lives. God's blueprint is not something we need to control or fully comprehend. It is a living, evolving plan, and it unfolds at the perfect pace. The mystery of the divine plan invites us to trust that everything is happening as it should, even when we can't see the whole picture. It is in this surrender, this trust, that we experience the fullness of God's plan, allowing us to flow with life rather than resist it. This mystery is not something to fear, but something to embrace with open arms. Just as a child cannot fully understand the wisdom of their parents, we too may not fully grasp the reasons behind certain events or circumstances. But when we trust in the divine plan, we are able to surrender our need for control and allow God's will to unfold in its perfect timing. This requires faith, a faith that everything is unfolding as it should, even when we cannot see the full picture. It is this trust in the mystery that allows us to move forward with grace, knowing that we are always exactly where we need to be. Finally, embracing alignment with God's blueprint means understanding that it is an ongoing process, not a destination. Life is a journey, and our alignment with the divine plan is something that evolves over time. It is not something that we achieve once and for all, but something we return to each day, as we make choices that reflect our deepest purpose. This process of alignment is not about perfection, it is about living with intention, about continually checking in with ourselves and making decisions that bring us closer to our divine calling. The more we practice this alignment, the more we experience the flow of grace and synchronicity that comes from living in harmony with God's will. To live in alignment with God's blueprint is to be in tune with our deepest selves, to trust in the divine timing of our lives, and to surrender to the mystery of the unfolding journey. It is an act of faith, of courage, and of love, love for ourselves, love for the divine plan, and love for the world around us. Through this alignment, we step into the fullness of who we are meant to be, fulfilling the divine purpose for which we were created. And as we do, we become instruments of God's love and grace in the world, shining a light that guides others to their own divine destiny. In this way, alignment with God's blueprint is not only for our own fulfillment but for the greater good of all. Through our alignment, we participate in the unfolding of God's divine plan for humanity, becoming co-creators with Him in bringing His will to life on earth. As we come to the end of this exploration of God's divine blueprint for your life, it is important to remember one fundamental truth: you are not alone on this journey. You are guided by a force far greater than yourself, one that knows you intimately, loves you unconditionally, and has crafted a divine plan for your life that surpasses anything you could ever imagine. This plan is not about achieving perfection, it is about growth, transformation, and becoming the person you were always meant to be. Life is not meant to be a straight path, but a sacred unfolding, full of lessons, struggles, and triumphs that lead us closer to the highest expression of ourselves. Embrace this journey with faith, courage, and an open heart, knowing that every step, no matter how uncertain, is part of the beautiful design that God has created just for you. Your life is a gift, a precious and unique part of a greater whole. God's blueprint is not just a plan for your own fulfillment, but for the good of all. Each of us has a role to play in the divine design, a purpose that stretches beyond our own lives and touches the lives of others in profound ways. As you walk this path, remember that the choices you make, the actions you take, and the love you give are not only shaping your destiny, but contributing to the unfolding of God's grand plan for humanity. Every step you take toward your divine destiny is a step toward healing not just for you, but for the world around you. Trust in the divine timing of your life. There will be moments of doubt, confusion, and impatience, but trust that everything is happening exactly as it is meant to. God's plan does not operate on our timetable, it unfolds in its perfect timing, and every delay, every challenge, and every unexpected turn is a part of that beautiful process. Surrender to the flow of life, knowing that even in the most uncertain moments, you are always exactly where you need to be. The mysteries of life, though they may seem daunting, are simply parts of a larger, more beautiful picture that is being revealed to you as you walk in alignment with God's plan. Remember, too, that alignment with God's blueprint is not a one-time event, but a continuous process. Each day, you are given the opportunity to realign, to listen more deeply to your inner wisdom, and to trust the divine guidance that is always available to you. As you make choices that honor your true self, as you step forward in faith and courage, you are not just fulfilling your own purpose, but you are co-creating with God the world you wish to see. This journey, though it may feel long at times, is one of incredible beauty and transformation. And in the end, when you look back, you will see that every moment, every challenge, and every joy has led you exactly where you were meant to be. As you continue forward, my dear friend, know that you are a part of a divine plan that is unfolding in perfect harmony. Trust in yourself, trust in the divine process, and know that you are exactly where you need to be. Your divine destiny awaits you. Step into it with confidence and grace, for you are walking a path of greatness, a path that has been laid out for you by the Creator of the universe. Your life is more than just a series of events, it is a sacred journey, and you are right where you are meant to be. Thank you for sharing this moment with me today. May you continue to walk in faith, trusting in God's divine blueprint for your life. May you embrace the mystery with open arms, and may you step boldly into the fullness of your divine purpose. Know that you are loved, guided, and supported every step of the way. Stay blessed, and continue shining your light in the world, for it is needed more than ever.